If you're watching this, you're part of a 401k plan that our company helps manage 401k investment professionals. My name is Jason Marty. I'm an investment advisor. We've developed an agenda to help our participants have the best outcomes possible. When we look at 401k plans, we manage exceptional 401k plans, we need really a few things. We need to have great investments. The plan has that. We need to have low and reasonable fees. The plan has that. The third leg to that stool is to have participants have enough information so they can make wise decisions on how their money should be managed. And that's what we're going to help you do. The first thing that we need to talk about when we're invested in the stock market is risk. You can be high risk, you can be low risk, you can be everything in between. When we work with participants, we are trying to build participants that we call fearless investors. That means something different to everyone. Some people are fearless being an aggressive investor. Some people need to be a conservative investor to be fearless. So the first thing we want to do is figure out how you feel about risk, and then we can give you some advice on how the money should be managed. Next thing we need to talk about is investment options. Typically, there are two types of investors at a company, an engaged investor and a guided investor. An engaged investor wants to build their own portfolio, and you're welcome to do that. We have many great options, and you can pick and choose which investments you want to go into. But we find that most of our participants are guided investors. They don't know a lot about the stock market, they don't follow the stock market, they want actual help from us. And so we've built a couple different options for that. The first option is different risk levels. If you are an aggressive investor, we've built a portfolio for an aggressive investor. We've put the right percentage in all the different mutual funds to make you an aggressive investor. Or if you're a conservative investor, we've also done that. We have 5 different risk-based models that you can pick from. The third option we have is what's referred to as a target date fund. Some people call this the set it and forget it option. That's where we look at just the year that you want to retire, and the investment advisor for that mutual fund is going to manage the money for that year. They're going to be more aggressive the further you are away from that year and get less aggressive each year as you get closer to that date. Other people would prefer to have a set level of risk, and that's what we have the risk-based portfolios for. So if you're a moderate investor, you can go into a moderate portfolio and it will stay moderate until you decide that you want to change it. The next thing we need to decide is how you want to save the money from a tax perspective. The government gives you an incentive to save inside your 401k plan, and they let you do it one of 2 ways. You can either save your money pre-tax, meaning you don't pay any taxes on the money that goes in now, and any money you put in comes off your taxable income. As an example, let's say you made $30,000 a year and you put $2,000 in your 401k plan. The government would tax you as if you made $28,000 that year. So you get the tax break now. But when that money grows and when you start taking it out in retirement, you have to pay taxes on the money you put in because you haven't paid tax on it yet, and the growth of that money. Now the opposite end of that is what's called Roth or post-tax. That's where you pay the taxes up front, but then you never pay taxes again. So if you put $100 into your 401k plan, $20 or so goes off to pay Uncle Sam and $80 goes into the investment. Now that money grows tax-free forever. So what's better, Roth or traditional, pre-tax or traditional? It depends on how old you are, it depends on what your income is. So typically the younger you are, the bigger the advantage the Roth is. The older you are, the less advantage because you don't have the time for the money to compound. Now we want to talk about the million-dollar question, and we think that is, am I saving enough for retirement? Am I on track for retirement? What does retirement look like if I keep doing what I'm doing? And so we have a process and a program that we can help you figure that out. We need to look at how much you're saving now, how much you've saved in the past, how much risk you're taking. What are your income goals in retirement? We think those are really important questions that need to be answered. We're going to help you do that. Final step is to contact us and we'll walk you through these steps. We can figure out if you're on track for retirement and if you're not, what you need to do to get there. We want to sit down with you one-on-one to build that personal financial plan to help you meet your retirement goals.